Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode. And today I'm thrilled to have back with me Kristy Vandenberg. Kristy, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Kristy, our topic today, unfortunately, is a little bittersweet. And that, of course, deals with the aftermath of July 4th and the floods. And you have been literally running every second of every minute of every hour of every day since then. And I wanted to just maybe check in with you and ask you some of the things that you're involved with. And for those who may want to try to get involved, either through a donation and in-kind donation, help volunteering in some way, maybe explore how people can do that. So maybe could you remind us about your professional background, which led you to be as involved as you are today?
Yeah, I started with the Red Cross back in 1977, and I was working in their health and safety department. And I moved around a couple chapters around the country, ended up in Houston, and then finally ended up as the director here in the Hill Country. I had the occasion to go out on several large-scale disasters, but I also got to see what a small single-family fire does to somebody. So that's kind of my background, that and education, basically.
What's the role of the Red Cross in a disaster such as the floods of July 4th?
The immediate role is to take care of the people who are without lodging, to take care of the first responders, so they get out and they do mobile feeding. They get out and they do damage assessment on the properties. In this case, unfortunately, they're looking at an empty slab in some places, but they go out there and they'll open a case for those people to make sure that they can connect them readily to assistance, just from the Red Cross. But what else is available out there? We are blessed to live in this community. We are blessed to have so many people who want to help. In fact, we were almost overblessed for a while. People think we need water or we need blankets or we need clothing. That's not what you need in the first week, 2 weeks after something this big. Those people need to be put up safely somewhere. They need time to grieve, whether it's the loss of a person or the loss of what they had that is now gone. Same thing is true in a single family fire. It's just much easier because you have one family that you're dealing with. A job of this magnitude is just going to take weeks and months. I understand they opened shelters, as did other places. There were some shelters that opened that were not Red Cross shelters, but they were just as good as Red Cross shelters. Schreiner University took in hundreds of people, especially firefighters, and put them up. Red Cross had a shelter. I went out and worked a shelter that Saturday night after the event, and it was a shelter for reunification. They did have 100 cots set up there, but not many people needed that. We had some families outside during the day who were looking for a loved one, and about 11 o'clock at night, they had hotel rooms. So they went back to their hotel room to show up the next day and wait for word. You had a good shelter at Trinity Baptist. I believe that the Methodist Church was open for stuff. You had a lot of people offering food, bringing in food. Food was plentiful and probably still is. I drove by one of the places on the way here today and saw just a bunch of water and stuff that's available at I guess it's the Legion, American Legion.
You're also a member of the Rotary Club of Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
You've been a past president. You've been involved in the district. What's been your role with Rotary, or maybe even what's Rotary's role going forward?
Rotary is actually, because of our members, many of them are able to provide resources for this. And that is true not just here, our own Rotarians here, but it's across the district, across the state, across the country, and across the world. You ask how I'm so aware of this. My personal phone is listed on our Rotary website. So I have received a lot of personal calls from other places asking me what they can do. I think I'm up to about 65 calls and emails from other places that are asking. Our district governor stepped up quickly, Craig Hardy, and we have a 501c3 at the district level, and he got that activated with a special designation within that fund that if people wanted to donate to Rotary, because they trust Rotary. And one of the things that most people don't know, if you donate to the district Rotary disaster response, there are no admin fees because we're all volunteers in the district. So there's no fees at all. And that money is all going to be available to come out. On behalf of the district, they wrote a grant to immediately get $25,000 from the Rotary International, which you can tag for disaster relief. And as soon as you get it, you spend it, get their receipts up there, we can apply again, which is really nice. We have several local Rotarians that are working to find out what the greatest needs are in our community. And specifically right now, they're working with the volunteer fire departments. They're working with Ingram, Hunt, Centerpoint, Comfort, Mountain Home, and Divide, saying, what do you need? What do you need? Some of it's as basic as we need money to get a grand scale washer dryer that we can use to take care of those uniforms. We come in after a day of mucking out by the riverbed and you're soaking wet and the clothes are dirty. We need to get those cleaned and dried before they come in the next day and do that. We heard there was a great need for more 4x4s. Some of them are asking for a six-seater. Is that a 2x4? No, it's 2x3, I guess. But they're asking for that because getting from the road down to the river front to be able to really search and get down in there, walking back is a tough thing. They've had a lot of them on loan so far. Neighbors, generous, who said, you can use my four-wheeler. But at some point, these fire departments probably need their own. So we're looking into that. One of the departments said they need a boat, a search and rescue boat, because the only search and rescue boat I understand we have is a county-owned machine, and it would be nice for them to have that. But my role has been talking to people. They call, they want to know what they can do. The first rule is once you've got those immediate needs met, we don't need more stuff. There's no other way to put that. We have places where most of the water and stuff they're keeping outside because they can't keep it inside. There's just no room. There are rooms full of clothing that people have dropped off. And what happens, and it sounds monetary, all we want is money, but money will allow people to go out and buy their own stuff. And there's a sense of empowerment in that when someone who's lost everything doesn't take what was loaned down to them, but they can go out and buy new clothes. So gift cards, they're going to get what we call a prepaid money card, probably from the Red Cross, and it'll be for a certain amount based on what they've lost. But those levels are not high enough. Things like the Community Foundation, things like the Rotary District Fund. I'm sitting here trying to figure out, I got 4 checks sitting on my desk, and it's not a lot of money, but people wrote them to the Rotary Club of Kerrville, and I need to cash them, but that money has to go into a special account so that it's only allocated to flood victims.
Kristy, if I could maybe turn to the future now, how do we begin to think through the not simply recovery, but the rebuild and the restoration of Kerr County, of Kerrville, of Hunt, and of Ingram, and of all those families? How do we think through that 3 months, 6 months?
I think that some of this is going to depend on how close they were to the river. I don't want to say I'm pessimistic, but I'm at the point where I don't know that this can't happen again anymore. It's happened once. That's enough for me. Hopefully never in my lifetime. But I know that there's going to be a lot of thought put into, if I rebuild, how do I build something that is safe from this? As much as you want to be at the water's edge to enjoy the river flowing gently by, people are going to have to look at that stuff. A lot of these folks didn't have flood insurance because they couldn't get flood insurance because of their proximity to the water. So I think that's what families are going to have to look at. And a lot of this land along there, I think, has been handed down from generation to generation. So maybe you don't build right next to the water. Maybe you take a step back and look at building something that's at least 20 feet or 30 feet above the bank. And maybe you put up some sort of, I don't know, retaining wall, some sort of system for drainage. And that may be totally blue skying it for me. I'm one of these people who thinks we should, and this is, you're going to laugh, but it's okay. I'm one of these people who thinks we should be able to move water around our country as well as we move gas around our country. So when we have an excess of water, we can send it somewhere. And if someone else has an excess of water, they can send it to us when we're in a drought situation. Now that's just blue sky, but I think it's possible. People always then said, how are they going to do that? And I'm like, reverse pressure. Why is this a problem? Just open the gate one end and show it down, and open the gate on the other end and shoot it up. But that has to go into this whole rebuilding effort. I did have a call with the I'm going to give them a shout out, the Mojave Sunrise Rotary Club in Arizona. And they called me and said, we want to send a truck down to you. And of course, my mind immediately came to, oh boy, more stuff. They said, no, that's not usually what we do. We rent a truck and we go to one of the construction stores and we buy building supplies, and then we send it to you based on what it is you need. You can bet I've got their information tucked away, because what a generous thing that would be to not have to go and spend your money on wood and construction items to rebuild your house. And that's not a bad idea. You know, once they start rebuilding, I can imagine that our local stores are going to run out of stuff. Luckily, San Antonio is close and they can restock, but there'll be a lot of building going on. I'm sure we don't have the personnel to do that. So we're going to have to try and get personnel from other places in the country to come in and rebuild. For people who lost their RV, I just hope their RV was insured. You know, it's a loss. And we had talked earlier that, you know, we hope to recover everyone. And we're just going to hold on to that hope.
Kristy, if someone wanted to reach out to you, maybe reach out to the Rotary Club of Kerrville or to the district, what would be the best way for them to do?
If they'd like to make a financial donation, if you go to the Rotary District 5840 is the district in, and it's actually www.rotarydistrict5840.org. There is a way there to make a financial donation into that special 501c3 account. And as past district governor, I can tell you that is where those monies will be spent. And there are no fees at all associated with that. If you can do it by check, you can do it by, I think, Venmo or Zelle or something. And you can do it with a credit card. So it's very easy to do that. When it comes down to donations of stuff, I would just say hold off. I mean, if you are willing, if someone has a large construction store of some sort and they're thinking, you know, when the time comes, I want to make a gift, you know, you can get on our radar and we'll call you back. You can also call the number here, what I'm trying to remember, or go to the website here, it's not Kerr United. Is it Kerr United, Andrew? See, you're not, I know, supposed to be here, but I'm going to ask you the question because they're referring people to go there to sign up to volunteer, which is what they're doing, and meeting, I guess, at Tivy parking lot to do that.
I'm going to do the good assistant thing here, and
Okay.
I Googled it for you. So we got Rotary Club of Kerrville is Kerrville.
No, I'm talking about the one that the city and
sorry.
the sheriff and stuff are all referring everybody to.
The Kerrville Flood Relief Fund?
Yeah.
Yes. I can look up that URL too.
Well, there's the one through the Community Foundation. There's one through the Chamber. There's a one through Rotary.
We'll be sure to put it in the show notes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I knew you could do that. I just read about it because I had registered. There's another aid organization here called Disaster Aid USA. And it is actually a nonprofit 501c that was founded by a member of Rotary who wanted to do more than just send money. So he has created this army of people across the US who, when something happens, they get there. And I believe he got here Saturday after that. And they're staying in Fredericksburg due to the generosity of some BRB places there. And he's got a team in here, and they are all experienced with chainsaws and trailers and heavy equipment. So he's got kind of a ready band of people that are here, and they've been working, and they will be here for a while. I was assured of that. Locally for our club, our foundation director, Greg Falden, is helping to coordinate some of that. And he is the contact between Disaster Aid USA and our club. But just like everybody else, we're looking for ways that we can help, that we are able to help if it's a physical type of thing. But a lot of our members have been very generous. It's interesting because we're entering our 100th anniversary year here. And we have been planning for a while what we want to do for Kerrville. And it looks like we're going to be able to do more because of funding to help specifically with disaster needs, which is nice.
What a great gift.
Yes.
A great opportunity to give.
Yes.
What
Yes.
about curtogether.com? That's the one I saw Joe
That's
share.
the one, curtogether.com. And
Yes.
you can register to volunteer and then go meet at Tybee, and they'll tell you which area you're assigned to. And I don't know if I think on that site, they actually send you to the community foundation, I believe. But again, that fund at the Hill Country Community Foundation is growing and is going to be a wonderful source of rebuilding and I don't know. It's so hard. I lost a good friend. So many of us lost somebody. Yeah, we all knew somebody.
It's it's a big county and a small community.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
it is.
Kristy, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to visit with us, and thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you so much. It's pretty cool to talk to a club that's outside of Rome, Italy. I know our president, Trey, said he got a call from someone or an email from someone in Brazil.
Yep.
The whole world is aware of what's happening here.
All right.